If only I had learned this very simple lesson earlier in my life, it would have saved me a lot of pain, money, anguish, heartache, and I've been on the giving and receiving end of it, no cap. There is a vast and dramatic difference between someone who wants to taste, feel you, and someone who genuinely wants to get to know you for you. Stay tuned. Lifers and loved ones, welcome back to the channel as always. And you know what time it is. Plans being laid, no games being played, money being made and bills being paid as always. And we are back and it feels so good. Thank you so much for spending time with me. And welcome to those of you who are joining us for the very first time. Let's get right into the topic. And I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. There is a dramatic difference, a vast difference between someone who genuinely wants to get to know you, who is genuinely interested in you for you, and someone who just wants to experience you. So let's dive right into the topic. As I've gone through life, my personal life, professional life, whatever the case may be, it's been my experience that it's a difference between people who genuinely are interested in you as a person and people who just want to experience you. This is one of those conversations that I needed to hear earlier and sooner. But it's not to say that it's not a benefit to me now, but that's just wisdom, that's maturity, that's experience. So I want to share of myself, I want to share myself in that way. So understand that there's a difference, and it's important to be able to use your maturity, patience, and your discernment to be able to tell the difference between the two. I also want to specify this video isn't about comparison and it's not about judgment. It isn't necessarily about right or wrong, because we are all on our own unique journeys, our own unique paths towards the lives that we want to live, the love that we want to have, the success that we want to feel, the peace, the rest, living a soft life if that's for you, living a life of leisure and productivity. That's my ultimate goal, living a life of leisure. All right. Don't that sound good? That's ultimately my goal. But along my travels, I've learned to understand the difference between people who just want to experience me, who just want to taste me, who just want to feel me, and then those who are genuinely interested in me, interested in my heart, interested in my mind, and genuinely want what's best for me and want to see me do well and want to be in my life for the long term. There's people who are making decisions and they understand that the things that they're doing based on their own personal experience is probably not going to keep them in my life for long. I've lived that. I've experienced that. That may seem radical. Like if you tend to be a lover boy or a lover girl, you know what I mean? That may be radical. It's like, why would you do something to deliberately sabotage a blessing or deliberately, squander a relationship with someone that could be positive, even if it's just a platonic friendship? It's like, why would you burn a bridge? That's the type of person I am. That's how my mind works. I always look to leave things, people, situations better than I found them. That's just who I am spiritually because, I want that love back, So that's the energy that I want to put out into the world. Genuinely. Like I genuinely want to see you do well. I genuinely care for you. I genuinely want to see you smile. I genuinely want, you to reach new heights and for you to have the things that you want in life, because I'm inspired by that. And when I'm inspired, it makes me want it more for myself. So the more that I see you do well, the more it helps me to want that same thing for myself. But based on my experience, and I'm definitely no saint, you know what I mean? I'm definitely not a saint. I've definitely, like I said, taken it and given it, with the best of them for sure. But I've learned, just to use my energy for good. My words are powerful. Your words are powerful. Your intentions are powerful. Intentions kind of set the tone for what it is that's on your heart and on your spirit as you move throughout the world. It's the energy that you're putting into the words that you say. It's the energy that is behind your actions. So it is important to ensure that your intentions are set and be ready for, the consequences, the ramifications, the fallout of those choices, for better or for worse, but again, I tend to be a trial and error learner, and then I reflect back and then I kind of tweak it and I make my adjustments. So there have definitely been times where I entertained people in situations where they weren't genuinely interested in me, or they weren't genuinely serving me, or it wasn't a circumstance that was healthy and for my good. It was extremely temporary And even though I may have known that, perhaps I didn't know what to do with that energy or how to handle it, but I participated in it and I entertained it. And I got exactly what I had coming to me. And like I said, I accept responsibility because that's how we grow, right? That's how we elevate. That's how we progress. But I just want to, just open up this dialogue and understanding as I go through life now that there's a difference and I can spot it now. I'm a lot better at it. And again, you may be in a place where, those kind of fly by night, temporary, up in the air, extremely intense for a moment and then, kind of fizzle out, right? Like you might be cool with those type of experiences and they could have some lasting effects that don't necessarily fall in line with the life that you ultimately want for yourself and that you ultimately want to live. So these are questions that you have to ask yourself. But I think one of the ways that you can, determine whether this is going to be long term or short term, whether this is someone who was genuinely interested in you versus someone who just wants to experience you. For one, you have to be taking your time. All right. If you're moving too fast, you're not giving yourself time to reflect. You're not giving yourself enough time to process. You're not kind of sitting back and watching what it is that this person is doing in your direction. And I'm going to use people as an example. But that's important to do. I'm an observer, and that's one of the ways that I kind of safeguard myself is by watching and paying attention. It's not about, testing someone in an unhealthy or a toxic or a malicious way. There's nothing wrong with going through seasons with people. For me, that's how I figure out what your intentions are for me is by going through seasons. It's easy to be kind to someone when everything is going good, but it's how you treat me. It's how you interact with me. It's how you speak to me. It's how you handle my energy when things, are a little rough, when times are a little hard, when the weather isn't good, when you're not at your absolute best. So I want to see that. I don't just want to see you at your absolute best. I want to be there to see you, when things aren't going as well, because I want to know how you, conduct yourself during that time. I want to know how it is that you'll handle me. I want to know what energy it is that you're going to have for me. And I want to see how it is that you're going to be able to appreciate me for who I am and what it is that I bring to the table, even with my flaws and my shortcomings and, opportunities for improvement. So it's important. So if you're moving too fast, it's going to be hard for you to be able to see what their true intentions are for you. Doing too much, team too much, so don't hesitate to pump the brakes a little bit. It's okay to pump the brakes. Take your time, right? And just keeping yourself in check, policing yourself up, being honest with yourself, being realistic with yourself, being real with yourself is important. I think, sometimes, we can lie to ourselves and that's powerful too. That's powerful. So be honest with yourself about what it is that you want and don't invest yourself so much in something or someone that you can't walk away from it, Be connected to everything, but not so quick to be attached. I think that that's important. I think there's times where we find ourselves in toxic and unhealthy situations because we invest too much too fast. All right. Direction is more important than the speed. And that's just what works for me. Just being a bit of a slow mover in those situations and giving myself time to process. And just like I said, accepting the fact that there are some people who just want to experience you. They just want to know what you feel like. They want to know what your energy feels like. They want to know what you smell like. They want to know what it feels like to be in your presence. They want to know what it is that you have to bring to the table. They enjoy the way that you make them feel. But true connections take work and they happen over time. But not everybody is interested in doing that work. And everybody has experienced or knows someone like that. They're unwilling to do the work. They're just content and, they're satisfied with where they are. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. But to me, in my experience, like I said, real connections that last over time, they take work. And, going through those seasons and taking the time is necessary. And that's where you'll find who will actually stick around because they're genuinely interested in you as a person, genuinely interested in your energy and what it is that you have to offer. And they want that and they want to be there to see you grow. There's people in my life, I want to see them grow. I want to be there over the long term. And it's not because I'm entitled to them or I'm looking to possess them or I necessarily want something tangible from them. I want to be there to see them grow. I genuinely enjoy their presence in my life. I enjoy their laughter. I enjoy the companionship. I enjoy the friendship. I enjoy the closeness, whatever the case may be. All right? Ask yourself, take inventory, evaluate. Evaluate some of the, relationships and some of the connections in your life. Ask yourself, do I genuinely find them interesting, or am I just experiencing them? Am I just going through the motions? Does this person find me genuinely interesting? Are they interested in me, all of me, not just the sum of my parts? Like, are they interested in me, or are they just looking to experience me? And realize and understand that this isn't necessarily a negative thing. And I don't want it to come across that way. I just want to point out that there is a difference between someone who just wants to experience you and someone who is interested in you and wants to be there and wants to grow through the seasons with you. And understand that, so that you know how to invest, so that you know how much, you can handle, so that you know what you're willing to give. I believe in you. So you be sure to do the same thing. Until next time, we out.